they seem so hard to find. I try to reach for you, but you have closed your mind.
Hi, Tuomas. How are you? Everything okay?
Yes, I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm fine too. Take a Chance is your brand new album, and it's a tribute to ABBA. It will be released on the 2nd of December. And what can you reveal to the fans about this album?
Well, I guess the style is kind of our new style, which we started on our previous album, Looking for You, which came out in 2020. So I think the style is quite same, but of course those songs are not mine. They are ABBA's songs, but we have recorded those songs in our own style. So you can clearly identify those songs that they are played by us.
Yeah, and the first question is quite obvious, I think. Why did you decide to make a tribute to these Swedish legends?
The very first idea, I think it popped out in 2018 when we were on tour with Lacuna Coil, and we had this one ABBA song, Lay All Your Love on Me, and we played that live on stage on that tour, and people really seems to like it. So we also recorded the song for our next album, which was the Looking for You album. We got so much good feedback from our fans and from everybody else, and many people encouraged us to make more ABBA covers and even a whole ABBA cover album. And I think it was just so fun. So we decided to do it because we really enjoyed the projects.
Yeah, and it was a brilliant idea. How did their work influence Amberian Dawn?
ABBA has always been a kind of big influence for me as a composer. Of course, I have many other idols too. I've been listening to traditional metal bands like Province Dio, Helloween and Iron Maiden, and those, basic kind of heavy metal bands. And when I was maybe young adult, 18 or 19 years old, I also started to listen to bands like ABBA and Modern Talking, also some Italo disco bands. So it's been with me almost all my life. And I don't see, is there any harm in that? I think it's really, really nice that you are able to listen to different kind of music and you are not stuck in just one style,
Yeah, it's really important to keep that, to keep your range very wide, because it also influences your way of writing songs, don't you think?
Yes, it's really important to listen to different kind of styles, and but I think if you listen to just one style, I don't think it's not going to lead to good music, because you need to take influences from other styles like classical music and even blues, which is, I think blues is the very first steps in rock music in general. So if you listen to blues music, you might take some really interesting ideas from there.
Yeah, you're right. Blues was the beginning of rock and roll as we know it today. Going back to Take a Chance, ABBA have a career filled with incredible hits. How did you choose the songs to include on this tribute?
ABBA has put out so many big hits, so it's almost impossible not to include a couple of big hits, because almost all of their songs are big hits. But I chose a couple of hits there, but also some of my own favorites, like The Day Before You Came and Head Over Heels. So it's kind of combination of big hits and my own favorites. Also, many people know the happy side of ABBA music, because most of those songs are so happy and uplifting, but not so many people know their more dramatic side. There's those songs like The Day Before You Came, which is really dramatic, it's also a kind of musical kind of song. So I wanted to show the two different sides of ABBA. It's not just happy music.
And you made a very good collection, I think. And were all these songs chosen by you? You didn't.
Yes.
The other members in the band didn't choose them.
I chose the songs, but I also got them accepted by them because we are still a band and we all want to do the same thing. So I did the first phase. I went through all their songs. I went through all ABBA songs and I selected the ones I thought which might be, suitable for our playing. And I think I was lucky because the band members liked my selection and we didn't have to change it.
Yeah, it's always good when you all agree. And what about the arrangements you did to these songs? How did you arrange them to becoming Amberian Dawn songs?
First of all, I wanted to keep the vocal lines as much original as they can. So I think the vocal arrangements are almost identical to the original. That was the starting point. Then I also wanted to keep the synthesizer and keyboard parts as original as possible. So I used a lot of time with my synthesizers to achieve the same sound that ABBA used. Of course, I didn't get the exactly same sound, but I think I got quite close. So we have this combination of vocals and keyboards, which are quite original. Then I added some tempo for a couple of songs. I made them a little faster, added some heavier drums and guitar riffs and that kind of stuff. And like usual, I first make a home demo of the song at my home studio. And then the band members come in and they maybe do a little more arranging, for example, with guitar riffs. I only make the first version nowadays. And after my first version, our guitarist Emil takes over and he kind of makes it ready, like the finished version.
Yeah, it's a good process, to arrange these songs into Amberian Dawn songs. And tell me, ABBA, when in the original songs, there were 4 singers. In Amberian Dawn, there is only one. How did you adapt the songs from 4 singers to only one?
No, well, that's one of the reasons we cannot sound exactly same, because we only have one singer. That's a really big difference there, and that's why we don't sound like ABBA. That's true. But we have good singer, Capri, and she's able to sing in different ways. So when we are doing, for example, those backing vocals, there are so many backing vocal tracks on every song. Capri can change her voice a little bit, so she can sound a little bit different while she's doing those backing tracks. So that's one effect we can use to make the sound bigger.
Yeah, and Capri did a great job. And curiously, I just remember that the last time you had a lineup change was back in, I think, 2015, right before the Innuendo album. Can you say that you found your perfect lineup?
Yes, it feels perfect, at least now. I think we have grown together. I don't know, is it the right word to use, but we have been together for some time now, 7 or 8 years, and we have made so much together already. We have released several albums and we have done many gigs and tours. So we are really grown together. I don't know how to say it better. We are really like a whole band, a whole unit.
And you know each other better now too.
I'm sorry.
You know each other better. You know, you're
Yeah,
more,
yeah,
you
yes, of
know,
course.
yeah.
It's better than you are a really working unit, and you are not just a combination of musicians. You must grow together somehow, and you have to kind of speak the same language and feel the things in the same way. And that takes time, several years until you really become a band.
And you've become that unit despite that, the fact that all the members in Amberian Dawn have different bands. Right? All of you have other bands besides Amberian Dawn. Is it easy to schedule tours for the band and you know, to make the agendas like find the right time to
Yeah,
do things?
yeah. All of our band members have other band projects. All other, but not me. I'm only doing Amberian Dawn at the moment, but all the other members are having other projects too. Of course, it makes things a little bit harder because, like you said, there might be conflicts with, for example, touring. There might be 2 or even 3 different tours at the same time. And then we just have to decide, and we have to talk with each other, and we have to decide together which tours we can do and which we can't do. So, but it's also a good thing because it keeps the band members, you know, fresh, their mind. It keeps their mind fresh because they can do other things too, and they can play different kind of music. For example, our drummer Jonas plays in black metal bands, which is totally different kind of music. And I think that's one of the reasons Jonas likes to play with us, because he can really play in different kind of styles, and he doesn't need to stuck in just one style.
Yeah, and that helps all the members to grow by themselves too, not only as a band but also as persons. Now that we're talking about the touring, which are your touring plans for this album? Is Portugal included there?
We are trying to get some touring for next spring. It's not sure yet because I think there's many clubs are already booked, so it's really hard to get tours for next spring. After the COVID break, there's so many bands now, and everyone wants to tour at the same time. So it leads to situation that many clubs are really booked, and it's really hard to organize tours. Also, the expenses has risen. For example, rent of buses and price of gasoline, etc. So it's even more to tour. It's even more expensive to tour than before. So, but we are still hoping to get a tour for next year, and let's see if it's going to happen. About the set list, I think we are going to include a couple of more ABBA songs in our set list. So we are going to play maybe 3 songs of ABBA in our set list, and the rest of the songs are going to be our own. So we have no plans to turning into a cover band. We are still making our own music, and those cover songs are just in minority part, you know.
Yeah, and speaking of new music, are there plans already for a new album, new studio album with original songs?
And no, I haven't started working on new songs yet. I have some ideas, of course. I'm always doing some kind of musical project, but I just haven't felt it right to start really working with new songs, because you have to be in right mindset, you know. When you are composing music, you are not a kind of machine which can be turned on and off. it doesn't work that way. Instead, you have to be in right mood so that you are able to compose good music. Also, for me, after I've composed maybe 100 songs for AD, it's so much that I don't feel pressure to make so much songs anymore, and I can really concentrate on the quality. So I think in the future I'm going to make less songs, and I try to make them better.
And that maybe will lead to more distance between the albums, you know, in time-wise, more years between the albums that you release.
Yeah, there can easily be 2 or even 3 years in the future, but you never know. It's also possible that we can make also faster pace. It all depends on many factors. So you can never really tell about your future for sure, because everything changes all the time. But at the moment, I feel that our next album is going to take maybe a year or even 2 years.
But starting now, so about 2024, we should expect a new Amberian album, right?
Yeah, I think that's a really good estimate.
And one thing that also contributed to your stability is that Napalm Records has been your record label since 2014. After these 8 years, are they still the right label for you?
The whole music business has changed so much in past years, so I'm not sure about the future concerning the labels anymore. Some people even think that there are no future for traditional labels anymore in the future, and many people seems to think that the future might be that you should do your career by yourself using, you know, social media. You should start your own career by getting more fans on social media and use the social media for distribution too. So the future might be interesting for bands, because if the labels stop existing, I think it's going to be really hard for old bands, because old bands has this history of working with labels, but it's going to be easier for new bands, because those new bands don't know anything about how it was with labels, you know. So if the labels are going to go away in the future, I think the new bands might have the better way to do it, because they don't know about the history, you know.
Yeah, that might be true. Well, I think that's it. Thank you so much, Tuomas. It was an honor. Would you like to send any message to your Portuguese fans?
Well, greetings to you, and I hope you are going to like our new album, and also I hope that we are able to visit your country on our next tour. So I hope to see you soon on tour.